jersey on and go through all those experiences. It's been amazing to me.
What was this summer league experience like?
It was great. It was mind blowing playing in an arena, putting on the other Thunder jersey for the first time, but playing with the guys. It was fun. It was fun to go out there, compete, get on the court, bright lights. It was fun.
All right, as we said, you're out of the University of Arkansas. Assess your game. I mean, give us your strengths, weaknesses, and so forth. Assess the game of Jay Will.
Really, I just think I'm that guy that's willing to do whatever the team needs. I'm willing to dive on the floor, take charges, pick up fouls if I need to, guard the strongest guy, go down there and play rough. Whatever it is, I'm willing to do what the team needs me to do. I can play smart. I can play from the outside. I can play from the post, mid post, whatever the team needs me to do. I feel like I'm willing to do.
You look at the ages on this team. There's not too many guys over the age of 30 years old. Most of you guys are between like 19 and 23 years old, but obviously a very young team. But talk about the chemistry that you've seen so far, not only in the summer league, but as you've played with some of the other veterans that have been around. Talk about the chemistry that you guys have.
Yeah, everybody's so great. Just sharing the court with those guys has been amazing, and playing, just seeing how good guys are. I love it. The level of competitiveness on the court, guys barking at each other to get better, or getting each other to go harder, play better defense, doing things like that. Just constantly going at each other to make sure that we're as best as we can be. It's been amazing.
Talk about this Thunder organization and what they do behind the scenes to make you guys better.
It's a lot. Everything we need as a player, we have access to, and it's been great being here, learning about Oklahoma, learning about the program, about the organization. Everything has been great being here.
I bet you never thought you'd be on an NBA roster with another guy named Jalen Williams, right?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's really cool, but we got that whole nickname thing settled out the first hour or two of us being together.
All right, he's J-Dub, you're J-Will, right?
Yep.
Talk about J-Dub. What do you see from him?
J-Dub's a great player. He can do everything. He can drive, he defends, he shoots, he play makes, he does everything you need him to do. And throughout my last year at Arkansas, I saw a lot of highlights of him, me being tagged in his highlight videos, thinking that I was him. And I've been watching him more than probably what a lot of people have. And just seeing him on the court, sharing the court with him has been great.
We have Sam Mays with us. Sam, you got any questions for Jalen Williams?
Yeah, Jalen, I'm curious. Have you had your welcome to the NBA moments? You know, the game is different. It's faster. The players are bigger. Have you had that yet, or is it going to come this season?
I wouldn't say I just had a crazy welcome to the NBA moment, but in summer league, I got my shot blocked pretty good, and just playing against the Jazz, they had Taco out there, and he's huge.
Huge.
That's a big dude, and that was a really crazy moment for me.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch this year. Unfortunately, we've had injuries already crop up, and you guys lose Chet Holmgren. Looks like he's going to be gone for the season. SGA is dealing with an injury right now, might not be available for the start of the season. But as you have been around guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander this summer, give us some thoughts on him and what you've learned from him this summer.
Yeah, he's a great competitor. Down in LA, I was just watching him a lot, watching him play the fives when they was running pickup, and he's just a great defender. He can score on every level. He can shoot threes. He can drive past you. You can go mid-post, whatever you need him to do. He can score, and he's a really great leader. He's pushing guys to be better. He always has great words, and he's a great teammate too. He's a funny guy.
And Josh Giddey did play some summer league ball with you guys. What are your thoughts on Josh?
Yeah, Gid, he can pass that thing. Some of those passes that he does.
You better be ready, huh?
Yeah. Some of the passes he does, it's how does he even know that guy's open in that corner? It's just crazy the passes that he makes, and his IQ for the game of basketball is incredible.
Yeah.
Sam's got one more.
All right, Sam, one more, Sam.
Yeah, one for me. I'm curious to know what it's like just being around Sam Presti and how interactive he is with you guys on the team. It just seems like he's a real big-time players executive, but you guys all have a great relationship with him.
Yeah, he's a really great guy. Every time we see him around the facility, he's talking. He's asking me how your day's going. He's asking me how you're doing, and that's pretty much every day you're seeing him in there. And he's a really great guy. I remember when I came for my workout, I sat down, had dinner with him, and we just talked about everything. We talked about my family, his family, and really just getting to know him from then on. He's just a really great guy to be around.
J-Will, we appreciate your time. I know it's a busy day for you.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck
Thank
in
you.
OKC.
Thank you.
Jalen Williams with us here at the Thunder Media Day. J-Will out of Arkansas, 6'10", 240 pounds. This guy, Sam, I do think it's going to be fun to watch J-Will as his career grows because he is so versatile. He can do so many things to help. He's a guy that you need on your basketball team, kind of like similar to a Kenrich Williams that they have right now out of TCU, and a guy, who just fills in all the missing pieces. He's not afraid to do the dirty work. That type of guy can play on the defensive end, which this team definitely needs. I think it's going to be fun to watch the progress of his career.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. You appreciate the grind. And I think the one thing that I've always really loved about the Oklahoma City Thunder is that blue-collar mentality that they play with. They're very much they have an Oklahoma feel to them, right? The Oklahoma fight to them. And I think that Jay Will absolutely adds to that narrative. I think this is a kid that's willing to do all the detail work. He's going to get better, and it's going to be better across the board. He's a 10-point, 9-rebound guy in college. I think that's somebody that can give you those numbers in the NBA sooner than you would think. So I'm impressed with him, excited to watch him grow, and I don't think there's a better organization in all of the NBA to do so than the Oklahoma City Thunder. The young players tend to just really thrive here. So excited about his future.
All right, let's take an opening timeout. Hopefully we'll hook up with Mark Rogers at Bandy's Barbecue. We have Sam Mays at Kalidi Kia. Craig Humphreys here at the Thunder Media Day at the Paycom Center. Coming right back on The Animal. the Animal. Craig Humphreys here at Thunder Media Days here at the Paycom Center. We'll talk more about what's going on here in a few minutes. Let's bring in Mr. Mark Rogers at Bandy's Barbecue. Marcus.
What's happening, Hump? I'm at Bandy's today here in Chisholm Creek. It's right across from Topgolf. I mean, they've got fantastic barbecue. They got Bandy's Live, which is an upstairs bar and live music venue. Night every week here. A great patio outside, 60 beers on tap, one of the largest selection of local beers in the state. So everything's great. They've got a big barbecue competition coming up in October that we'll tell you more about. But happy to be here at Bandy's Barbecue today.
All right. Hey, and guys, we got the head coach right here, Mark Daignault. We'll get him hooked up with a headset. Craig Humphreys here at the Paycom Center, joined by Mark Daignault. Also, we have Mark Rogers at Bandy's Barbecue. Also, Sam Mays at Kalidi Kia. We got it all set up there, Mark. Mark, we appreciate your time, sir.
Good to be here.
Well, always exciting to get another season underway here at Thunder Media Day. What are your thoughts as you get started?
Well, the first one's just excitement. It's been a long off season. Our players have done a great job. You know, they've been really committed and disciplined. I think a lot of them have gotten a lot better. And I'm excited to see kind of the output of that. But they've hit it hard over the summer, and it's got me really excited about the start of the year.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I was going to say a lot of challenges with a lot of young players on the team. Will there be a lot of competition in camp for different spots? I would assume yes.
Yeah, a ton. You know, we've got, over 17 guys that we're really excited about and that we really like, that bring unique strengths to the team. And we're interested to see what that looks like when it all comes together. But that's one of the most exciting things about this time of year, especially with this particular team, is how competitive it'll be for spots and for minutes, rotation spots. And so I can't wait to see what it looks like.
Go ahead, Sam.
Coach, as far as, the loss of Chet, obviously a pretty devastating injury coming into the season. What does it do for you as far as just your mindset coming into, this early part of the season, not having your first round pick as far as playing time and just the overall, challenges ahead of you facing this team?
Well, if there's one thing that you learn in the NBA pretty quickly, and that Chet's learned very quickly, is that there's adversity and there's setbacks everywhere, for every player and every team. And you're never going to really avoid them. They're different for everybody. But the test of who you are as a player and who you are as a team is how you overcome those and how you handle those. And so I'm very confident, knowing Chet in the small amount of time I've been around him, that he's going to handle that in a great way. And it's important for our program to do the same. We'd rather have him on the floor, but this is now our path forward, and we have to use it to create momentum in the ways that we can, and I'm confident we'll do that.
Well, and you talked about the injury to Chet, and then SGA also dealing with an injury right now. Now, not as serious, but you might not have him at the start of the season. A lot of people very curious how it's going to work out at point guard. I know that Josh Giddey and SGA only played one game together, I think it was, after All-Star break. But how does that work out? Who's going to be the point guard? And if SGA is playing off the ball, I mean, how does that work out?
Well, those guys, I think it speaks to a larger vision that we have for the team, which is that we want to have multiple playmakers. We want to have a style of play that accommodates multiple creators and multiple playmakers, and certainly those two guys are it. But I think we actually have more than just them in terms of creators on the team. And so being able to merge multiple guys is going to be critical. I think the days of having a traditional walk-up point guard are over, even just around the league. The league is certainly trending away from that. The game has become more positionless and more dynamic. And certainly we want to stay with and ahead of that trend. And so those guys, as well as the other guys on the team, being able to function in a way where the whole is better than the sum of the parts, that's the ultimate goal.
Go ahead, Mark.
It's a contract. It's a contract year coming up for Darius Baisley, and I know that you've tried to use him in very different roles. Seems to me like, as a guy with energy, might be able to sustain his career and find a spot if he can bring that type of attitude with shot blocking and rebounding and things like that, and play a role potentially coming off the bench. But what do you have in mind for his role this season on the team?
Well, just talking to him, I'm really excited because I think this is the most actualized version of him in terms of understanding his identity as a player and really understanding himself. And that's a difficult adjustment for every player. And if you go back to when Darius was a rookie and where he was coming from, he didn't go to college, did the internship with New Balance. And so he had a learning curve in that area and has grown significantly every year. And there's obviously going to be ups and downs. His developmental track, just like everybody else's, has not been linear, but he has improved year over year in that area. And I think, just like I said, talking to him, he's ready to make another step there, and we're excited about seeing what that looks like.
Boy, I tell you, you got an infusion of talent in the draft. Obviously, Chet Holmgren, and he's not going to be available for a while, but Usman Chang, and then the two Jalen Williams, J-Dub and J. Will. Talk about especially J-Dub. This guy, you talk about needing more ball handlers and so forth. This guy seems very versatile to me, J-Dub out of Santa Clara.
Yeah, he's a very complete player. You know, he shoots, he passes, he dribbles. He's very functional, but he can also create. He plays defense. I think he can guard multiple positions. He's also a very good off-ball defender. He's a very disciplined help defender. And so I think the holistic nature of his game allows him to be a very, versatile guy. Like you said, I think you can use him in a lot of different spots and put him out there with a lot of different people, and that's exciting. And I'm excited to see how he comes in. Training camp is a different level of intensity than summer league. And so I'm excited to see how he rises to that, as well as those other guys, as well as our returning players. But we're very excited about him, as we are with a lot of other guys.
I know one of the fan favorites is Kenrich Williams, and I think he kind of came to Oklahoma City and didn't have a whole lot, may not have been a whole lot of expectations for him here, but his work ethic has been great. He signs a contract this offseason. And what do you like most about Kenny Hustle?
Well, I'm gonna fold that into an answer about him and Shea and Dort, because we've got all those guys under contract now for a long period of time. And the thing that is exciting about that is they're all pretty transcendent players for our program. I mean, Shea is a tone setter in terms of his commitment and his drive and the joy he brings to every single day in the NBA. Dort's physicality and competitive nature, I think, is very contagious. I think it's especially valuable on a younger team, but he's got his nose in the fight every night. And then Kenrich Williams, the one thing, he's a really, really tough, good player, knows who he is. He plays both ends. But the thing that I respect most about him is he's an incredibly authentic player in person. He is fully himself and unapologetically himself every day. And with a young team that's trying to find its footing and players that are trying to find who they are in the NBA, having somebody like him that's got that kind of ethos to him is incredibly valuable. So we can't be happier to have those guys, as we move forward here and continue to build.
Well, Mark, you're a busy man. I know as I watch this team, I see a lot of chemistry, and I see a team play hard night in, night out. You can't fake those things, and I think that's what people, fans here in OKC, have enjoyed watching here, especially last season, as they look forward to this. Great chemistry. Team is going to be playing hard every night, and a lot of that comes from the coach. So I appreciate that, and good luck to you this year.
Thank you so much for your words, and thanks for having me.
All right. Mark Daigneault, head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is going to be fun to watch, Marcus. Seriously, when you look up and down this roster, I mean, most of them are between 19 and 23 years old. They're just getting started. And, I read Joe Mazzato this morning, and he's talking about some of the questions coming into the season and talking about Josh Giddey and his jump shot and things like that, Marcus. And then he reminds us, hey, he's only 19. There's plenty of time for a lot of these things to develop, right?
Right. No, shot is being the most. But, I mean, he's got some skills that are in the prime of his career. I think the way that he, just an odd kind of, dribble hesitation, always being able to see the floor. And I think his understanding of the game is pretty next level.
Hey, we got another special guest here, Marcus. The one and only Poku is with us. Poku, we always appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. I'm always happy to be here.
I'm Craig Humphreys. We got Mark Rogers on remote. It's always fun on media days. You look forward to another season. We were just talking about the youth of this team and also the chemistry of this team. And I know a number of the guys played in summer league and so forth. Have got to spend a lot of time together. But you've been around here for a few years now. You're like one of the veterans of the team. Talk about the chemistry that you guys have.
First of all, I'm happy to be playing in the summer league this offseason. That was great. It was my first time, and I'm happy to do that always. It always brings team together, and I think this will be a good season for us in terms of getting better and getting together. We have some new guys, and they're doing great, and we're gonna have some preseason games. This gonna be good for us.
Poku, I've never had a chance to talk to you, so I wanted to know how you found Oklahoma in the time that you've been here so far. What do you like, and what are some of the things you enjoy to do? And food wise, have you been able to make that transition and found some place you like to eat and all that?
Yeah. So this is my I'm going into my third season here, and I'm pretty much
Right.
feel like a second home. People are great here. This is what I like most about the Oklahoma people. I mean, they're amazing, and their support is always great. I found some good restaurants that I go into with my family or with my girlfriend. It just feels good, food is a problem going from Europe, from Serbia and Greece, going to the USA. But I'm trying to get used to it.
Poku, you have so many different strengths to your game. I mean, you're a 7-footer who can handle the basketball, who can pass, who can shoot from outside, and so forth. What do you see as your game develops? What do you see as your strengths and your weaknesses? What do you see that you need to develop, especially this year, to stay in this league?
Not going into many details, but just being more efficient on offense and find a better way of scoring and making my teammates, better players without spending a lot of time with the ball. And I want to be a great defender, and being able to defend multiple positions. Just those are some things.
Go ahead.
Offensively, how much have you had to work on playing off the ball? I mean, I know playing on the ball, it seems like you're really, really comfortable. What are the things that you can do to be better when you're off the ball?
Playing off the catch is, something I'm trying to get better at, and making decisions more comfortable, being more comfortable, making decisions off the catch. Even like playing as a 4 and 5, getting some screens in and rolls and pops, and making the team, making my assists from there and passing, making some good passing from the paint. I think that's going to be a good thing this next season.
And you talk about improving on the defensive end. How much of that is mental, film study, and so forth? How much of that is just work during the off season, improving on lateral movement, things like that?
Mental is a good point. When you're in the NBA, there are a lot of good players, and you just kind of got to keep going. And with the work, you got to be willing to play defense. If you're working out pretty good and then you go into the court and you're not willing to play defense, that's not going to work out. You just got to be there every night, show up, and work is going to show up too.
Go ahead, Marcus. You
Give
got
me a
one
little.
more?
Yeah, sure. I was going to get a scouting report on some of the younger guys that you played with in summer league, and what can we see from some of the rookies on the team this year?
So I think we had a good group of guys coming to the new season as of rookies. I think they're going to be a good how I can say that, like coming of the season that we didn't have the best results. Coming to the new season, I think they can help us just with their energy and not being, playing for the team. There's a thing I'm trying to do, and I think there's a thing that I can do as a players that are rookies. They're working pretty hard right now. I've seen them every day on the court. They're working pretty hard. I think they're going to be ready for the season.
As you look at your roster, there's not a lot of I mean, there's a lot of height on the roster, but maybe not as big as other teams around the league. Is rebounding, is that something you guys talk about a lot, that you have to rebound as a team?
Yeah, I mean, physicality is something that we got to put in. There are a lot of strong guys, but I mean, we got to play physical. It doesn't matter how strong we are. If we play physical, I think it's going to be good. And all 5 players that are on the court got to rebound the ball. It's not just one guy.
Poku, we appreciate your time as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good time. Bye.
All right. Pokuševski here with us here at Thunder Media Day. Alexei Pokuševski is his full name. We just call him Poku. Marcus, that's the fun thing about this team, though. So many young players. I mean, like we talked about, Josh Giddey's 19 years old. Poku's only 20 years old. JRE, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, only 21. Trey Mann's only 21. Maladone's only 21. Holmgren comes in. He's not going to play this year, but he's only 20 years old. Usman Jang, only 19. And then the 2 J-Dubs. I mean, the Jay Will out of Arkansas. I mean, he's 20. J Dub out of Santa Clara, 21 years old. These are young kids, Marcus, and it's the fan base needs to just be patient because it's not going to happen overnight. But man, you look at the talent on this team and the draft picks. I mean, the assets that this team has, Marcus. I think it's going to be fun to watch over the next 3-4 years.
No, it should be great to watch those guys develop and see what they can do, night in and night out in the NBA when they're trying to play against teams that are really talented in the West. That was a welcome surprise. I wasn't expecting Poku to stop in.
Yeah,
I was hoping he'd give me a couple of hot spots to eat. I was going to recommend to him that we would be at Greek Fest on Friday and let him know that he could get some great sanganaki out there.
I will absolutely go to Greek Fest with you on Friday. The one thing I will say is Oklahoma City is we've been here, done that, got the T-shirt. We know what it is to support a young team. We know what it is to watch them grow. We know what it is to have seasons where there's a struggle and we're just looking for bright spots to get excited about. We know what it is to not have the peak. To just be young. And so I'm excited about the season. I enjoyed last season. There have been teams that had superstars in this team that I did not like. I didn't enjoy watching Russell Westbrook and Paul George play basketball. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I didn't see a plan why they were on the floor. When I watch these groups take the floor now, there's a plan. Mark Dagnall's out there with a plan. He's executing it. Guys are getting better throughout the season. There's marked improvement from Q1 of the season to the fourth quarter of the season. Guys are developing. I love that. There's going to be success again here in Oklahoma City. Is it going to be the next couple of years? Probably not, but you can see the path that they're taking to get there. I'd much rather be Oklahoma City than Orlando or Charlotte or the Pelicans, who made the playoffs last year, but still, they've had how long of a drought where it just looked hopeless. I haven't felt hopeless watching the Oklahoma City Thunder in a few years, which is exciting to me.
Hey, Sam, tell us what's going on at Kalidi.
Yes, sir. Here at Kalidi Kia, make sure you head this way. Kia always make sure to be transparent from the moment you walk inside the door to the moment that you leave. Right now, they got the Kalidi Kia Friends for Life certification package, 3 months, 3,000-mile quality assurance warranty, 100-plus point used car inspection, first 2 full synthetic oil changes, full detail, and a tank of gas. That's a great deal, so come on into Kalidi Kia.
And Mark Rogers at Bandy's Barbecue.
Yeah, here in Chisholm Creek, we've got a big barbecue festival coming up in October. You need to sign up, barbecue, beer, and bands. I'll be here. That's going to be phenomenal. So the best pit masters from around the country are going to compete for $30,000 in cash and prizes right here. OKCBBQFest.com to buy your pre-sale ticket for $20 before they have a price increase. So get them while you can.
And I'm right here at Thunder Media Day, Paycom Center. More Mark and Sam coming up. Mole, Craig Humphreys here at the Paycom Center, site of the Thunder Media Day. We have Mark Rogers at Bandy's Barbecue, Sam Mays at Kaliti Kia. We'll hear more about them in a few minutes. Guys, NFL-wise yesterday, Marcus, how about Miami beating Buffalo? We knew Miami was good. I didn't exactly expect them to beat the Bills over the weekend, Marcus. What did you think of that one and of Tua coming back after being injured late in the first half?
Oh, that was one of my picks this week. I said the Dolphins straight up. They're pretty fortunate to win straight up after the butt punt, but a good win. I think Miami's for real. Buffalo was limited a little bit because of defensive players that weren't there. Jordan Phillips has been playing great so far this season. It'll be a battle that I think will go the other way when they go back to Buffalo, but I think Miami's part of the elite in the AFC. Our boy Rava's coming up here in just a few minutes. He picked the Jaguars. Nice win over the Chargers. So just last night's game, too, one of the uglier games I've ever seen. Did we get scoregami last night at 11-10?
No. That one and 24-8, the Eagles and Commanders, one time in the history of the NFL for both. One time, yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's one of the first things I thought about, too, 11-10. I don't ever remember. Actually, I think 11-10 was like the Chargers-Steelers back in 2008 or something.
Hey, sorry to interrupt a second, but we do have Trey Mann who has stopped by to talk to us. So, Trey, we appreciate your time this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for having me.
We're joined by Mark Rogers, Sam Mays. They're on remotes. Talk about this Thunder team as you head into another season. We were just talking about the youth of this team, and one thing that stands out to us, even over the summer, with the new guys coming in out of the draft, a rookie league out in Vegas and so forth. But talk about the chemistry that you guys have.
We're a very young team, but I'm very excited. We got a lot of talent. Everybody brings something to the table. So I'm excited. We're building chemistry here slowly. This is the first time we've all actually been here in one spot. So we're doing that now. But I'm excited for the team. I'm looking forward to the season.
Trey, what's the biggest difference and challenge for you transitioning from the college game to the NBA game?
Just getting, used to the different style of play, getting used to teammates, coaches, everything. Really, it's a whole different ball game once you're here from college. So just really getting used to the NBA game.
And Trey, this is a team that needs shooting, and that's one thing you can do is fire up the 3-point shot. But talk about that. Talk about the work that you've done this summer to get even better from long distance, and what the work that you put in the off season just to improve specific parts of your game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to shoot. Like anytime I'm not really doing nothing, or anytime I want to get in the gym, that's what I go do, shoot. But this year I've been trying to, work on efficient shooting. So every time I shoot, it's been a number behind it. I had to hit a certain number, to make sure I'm practicing shooting efficiently. So that's what I've been doing. And this summer for me has really been, making better decisions. So my trainer back home, we've been doing ball screen, reads and things like that. So those are things that I wanted to work on this summer and this off season. And I think I've done a good job with that, and hopefully it'll show this year.
Trey, I'm curious.
Go ahead, Sam.
Trey, I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious about what you've done as far as becoming a professional and your body. I played college athletics, and I know that I was definitely eating 6 double cheeseburgers after a football game on a Saturday. What does your nutrition and all those things look like since you became a true professional?
It's changed a lot. Especially from my freshman year of college. Freshman year of college, like you said, I was eating McDonald's at 11 o'clock, Wendy's at 11 o'clock, just really fast food. But now my first year, I hired a chef, so she was coming over cooking for me. Just trying to get 3 meals a day was big for me this summer because that was one of the big things for me was gaining weight and getting stronger. So just getting 3 meals in a day, and it's changed a lot because I try to eat the better stuff, but yeah, that's really the big thing for me.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was going to tell him I like to shoot, and I also like to eat fast food. So he and I can hang out. We can have a good time together. Other than shooting, Trey, how do you kind of is that your role on this team, or are there other things that you can do when you play? Because we love the way that you heated up last year and you got on a roll and fired fired him in with regularity and had some big point nights. But what else do you have to do to secure playing time on this team where it's really tough? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of competition going on.
For me, it's just going out there and just playing basketball, not trying to force anything. And then for me to stay on the court, I feel like it's going to be defense. So, just doing the winning plays that Coach Mark was talking to me about all last year, coming in knowing that that's what I got to do. I feel like it's going to help me out a lot. But, yeah, for me, it's been defense and then just going out there and playing basketball. I'm just going to let the game play and let it take care of itself.
And that's one thing Coach was talking about is he views this team as not just having one traditional ball handler that comes out and distributes.
Exactly.
You guys got a bunch of guys that can handle the ball.
Yep.
One of them's you. I mean, you can create your own shot, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of the things that I was blessed to have. But like you said, we got multiple guys on the court that can do that at one time. So being able to, once they pass it, being able to make the shot for them is another big thing. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, hey, Trey, we appreciate your time.
Oh, I got one more. I got one more.
Ahead,
I got one more from real quick, real fast. Did you go to the game Saturday night in Norman, and how would you compare that to the Swamp?
Oh, yeah, I did go to the game. We left at halftime, but the energy was different there. I mean, I love the Swamp, but they did a lot more, like, extra stuff. Like, for touchdowns, they turned the lights off. Like, I never seen anything like that. They had them shooting fireworks every 2 minutes. It was cool, though, but great environment overall.
Hey, Trey, we appreciate your time. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Trey Mann with us here at the Paycom Center, Thunder Media Day. Marcus, what's going on at Bandy's Barbecue?
Well, a couple of things. He's an excellent politician because I served one up for him that he might have drawn the ire of the OU fans, but he did not do that. So that was impressive. I think he's been a master of the media so far. And, Craig, you were not privy to this, but earlier today, Sam Mays used some very, very harsh language to me in a text message about the fact that I was at Bandy's Barbecue. And you know what? I felt, instead of retaliating at Sam, I thought, I would feel the same way if I were him. So, brother, I dialed you up a nice care package that you should be receiving anytime here. So,
heck
before you curse
yeah.
me again, let's put good, positive energy into the universe instead of negativity. Let's try to make that our plan this week.
I love it. Thank you.
All right, Sam.
I appreciate that,
Sam,
Mark.
what's happening at Kalita Kia?
Yes, sir. Kalita Kia is the #1 dealership in Oklahoma where they can make car buying process easier than you can imagine. Once again, right now, the Kalita Kia Friends for Life certification package is incredible. This is 3 months, 3,000-mile quality assurance warranty, 100-plus point used car inspection, first 2 full synthetic oil changes, a full detail, and a whole tank of gas. Doing it big here at Kalita Kia. Come on in.
All right, gentlemen, you guys got a lot to break down from this weekend. I appreciate everyone here at the Paycom Center, all the Thunder staff and personnel and everyone from Cisco to Ryan Day to Gideon, Bobby. I mean, they got the Josh Lee, the whole crew's out here today from the Sports Animal doing a great job. But we will continue with Mark Rogers from Bandy's Barbecue, Sam at Kalita Kia. More of Mark and Sam coming up on the Animal.
Here inside Paycom Center, Gideon Hamilton along with Bobby Thompson. We're here for Oklahoma City Thunder Media Day. We'll be interviewing players throughout the day. Be sure to check out our social sites for that. And, of course, you can catch Thunder basketball before, during, and after every Thunder home game here on your flagship home for Thunder basketball, 98.1 FM, WWLS, the sports animal. All right, Sports Animals coverage of Thunder Media Day continues. Gideon Hamilton, Bobby Thompson. We're joined by Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Jeremiah, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. What was your summer like?
Oh, it was great. I was here a lot for just 8 weeks of training leading up to summer league, and then we got into summer league in Utah and Vegas, and then we had about a month and a half kind of on our own time, and I went back to Kansas City and was training, just enjoying my time there. So it was a good summer.
Talk about now coming in, you're almost a veteran on this young team now, so a young veteran on this team. But talk about what it's like going through this again as opposed to going through it the first time.
I mean, there's just less pressure going into this next season. I feel like having that first year under your belt really helps a lot. You can't simulate the NBA,
right.
So experience is just so important. So I feel like it was almost the best way just for us last year. A lot of young guys just kind of thrown into the fire and just learning through experience. So I think that's going to help us a lot for next season.
There was something that happened in the middle of last year. You went over to the Blue for a game. You went for like 25, 26, and 10 or something like that. And Coach D talked about that and how that was just meant to what purpose that served for you moving forward. I wonder if you could talk about that event, because when you came back, it seemed like you did play with a lot more confidence, more assertiveness after that happened.
I feel like it was one of the more, obviously every game's important, but I feel like that was an important part of my career, especially for my rookie season. Just showing it doesn't matter what the circumstances are or what's going to happen, that I'm going to give it my all for the team and play the way I play, not because I was on the G League team that I'm going to play differently how I play in an NBA game, but just being able to just do everything I can to win a game.
You play on this Thunder team with guys like Giddy and Shea and Dort. Everybody talks about the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Very guard heavy team. Talk about the front court on this team and what the Thunder fans can expect from the front court. Helping those guards out and trying to put a successful product on the court.
Yeah, there's a lot of versatility from the front court. Just we're not the 6'11", 7-foot big guys that are just banging under the goal, but there's a lot of versatility, being able to guard 1 through 5, being able to stretch the floor out to make it harder on offense. So I think that's just something really dynamic we have for the team, and that we have a lot of versatility.
Last one for you. After you came back from the injury toward the latter part of the season, got some minutes, played really, really well, felt like a springboard into this season.
Yeah, no, I think every experience you can get in the NBA can really just help your career, and I feel like me being able to come back and finish those games after being hurt really kind of propelled me going into the summer, feeling confident about where I'm at, really, especially coming off the injury. So I think that was a really, really good part of the end of the season. It was a really great way to end the season going into the summer.
Good luck this year, man. We appreciate it. Thanks. That's Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Coverage of Thunder Media Days continues after this on the Sports Animal.
This is nice.
It's kind of fancy looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sports Animals coverage of Thunder Media Day continues. Gideon Hamilton, Bobby Thompson, and Mike Muscala. Mike, ready for another exciting year of Thunder basketball? What was your summer like?
It was good. Spent it mostly in Minnesota, rehabbing, training there. Took a couple trips. It was good. By the way, I feel like you can make a beats on this. Can you? No?
You could. Don't try it right
Okay.
now. It will as soon as we're done. Then we'll kind of we'll play around with a little
on
bit.
keyboards, Mike Muscala.
There was one thing that happened this past year. You were one of the player interviews. It was either right after the game or right before the next game after the 73-point loss in Memphis.
Yeah.
And you talked about, you said it's really unfortunate that this happened today because of something that Mark said, a speech that he made prior to the game about everybody's journeys. I'm not trying to peel the curtain back too far, but I think you can probably be broad enough about this where you can kind of talk about that moment and because it seemed like it had an effect on you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it really hurt, to go through that. And I'm glad we beat them the next time we played them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was obviously a hurtful experience, but it's something that I think we all learned from, which was what my hope was when that happened. That's all you can do, through the game.
What was it that Mark talked about prior to the game? Do you remember that?
Actually, don't remember.
Okay, I just remember you talking about that after the game, and you saying, "Yeah, it's an unfortunate time." He was talking about like everybody's kind of path to get to where they were going to the game.
I remember us in the Memphis hotel and him going up to talk, and I can remember it being power. He's good at giving speeches, and I just felt like. Obviously everyone was a part of it and watched it. It was painful for everybody, but I think it's something that we learned from and grew from.
Mike, you're obviously a veteran in this league. You've been around for a while. What is it about this Oklahoma City franchise and then this roster that makes you excited coming into another season?
Yeah, just the young talent here. That the draft I think went great for the team, and these young guys are talented, they're competitive, and they're smart, for their age. And just to be around that youth is really exciting.
So you're 10
yeah.
for you. How do you feel physically? Yeah, there it is.
Says it on there.
Right
Nice.
there.
Yeah.
I should have known that by heart too. No, but how do you feel physically? Is there are there things that you notice that, oh man, I wish I was 22 again. I could have made, done that type of thing. He and I are both big tennis fans, and you see athletes have more longevity now, more effective longevity than they used to based on, training regimens and stuff like that. Of course, that's an individual sport. This is a team sport, but I wondered if you could talk about, getting to your 10th year and just kind of how you feel physically.
First off, have you read Open by Andre Agassi?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when it came out.
Great
Yeah.
book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I feel good. I mean, I had ankle surgery half a year ago, back in March, and that was something that had been nagging me for the last couple of years. And really, a lot of my career, I sprained it so many times. So a lot of my summer was spent just rehabbing, just getting to a place where I could get back on the court. And now, it takes more time to warm up, takes more time to cool down, but it's stuff I've become grateful for, because in learning that through my ankle, I've learned about all the other parts of your body that you have to look after in terms of warming up and cooling down. And, when you're used to, as a young player, just kind of going out and playing,
sure,
for lack of a better term. And that's something that I've been able to talk with Chet a little bit about too, with his surgery, what he's going through. I told him you'll gain an appreciation for a lot of these things that you don't have when you're a younger player.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you about. I was going to ask you about, your relationship. I know it's early and he just became part of the team with Chet. Just about, the mentorship role that you can have being a 10-year veteran, a stretch guy like he is with the ball handling. He just, talk about what that means for you to be able to kind of coach him from a player's perspective.
I mean, as a player, he's super talented and, phenomenal at his age. I mean, he was so impressive in summer league, obviously. And even, playing one-on-one against him in the summer in Minnesota, where we're both from, he was really impressive. So I think from a playing standpoint, I mean, he's already, so ahead of his time. But just from an experience standpoint, sure. I've been around, I've seen a lot of things in this league. And, experience is a big teacher, for all of us and a lot of things we go through in life. So he's a quick learner, and his awareness is so good that I think even though he wish he could be out on the court this year, we know we've had some talks, and I feel like he's gonna still take huge steps forward this year, just because he's going to have to like see the game in a different way, in a way, just not being able to play, but still being engaged. And it's going to be something that he's never had to go through before. But a lot of people never go through that in their whole careers. And so if he's already got the right positive attitude and mindset about it, that he's going to come out better from it, which is cool.
Mix Master Mike Muscala, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's have
Can
some
I try a
fun.
few of these?
Good luck.
I don't want to mess it up. Thanks, guys.
Good luck this season, man. We appreciate it. All right, continuing coverage of the sports animal here at Thunder Media Days. Gideon Hamilton, Bobby Thompson. We're joined by Kenrich Williams. Kenrich, go ahead and tell us about your summer a little bit. What was going on for you?
It's been a great summer, and just one to definitely remember, just as far as just getting an extension and all the blessings that's been happening. My wife's pregnant, so
awesome.
It's a lot this summer, and it was definitely a successful summer.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Talk to us about this this upcoming team. Obviously, we just got through talking to Mike Muscala a little bit ago. You're one of those veterans on this team. The leadership that you have to do just from example. Yeah. Just talk about what you see in these young guys coming in. We know what to expect from Shea and from Dort and those guys, but from some of these young guys.
Man, I have a lot of respect for the new guys that come in. Very high character guys. I think that's the main thing that people need to know. High character guys, hard working, and these guys are hungry. Hungry to be good and hungry to be successful in this league. So when you got a combination of those things, I feel like you have a recipe for success. So I'm definitely looking forward to this season.
One thing that stands out to me when I watch you play is you don't play the game with a lot of fear or a lot of conventionality of, okay, how this is supposed to go, how I'm supposed to guard you, where I'm supposed to stand. You really go and take the game. I wondered if you could talk about how that process evolved for you, or is that something that's kind of innate within you? Where'd that click in for you?
Man, that's just something that has been with me since I was younger. Just being out playing with older guys. I think playing football as a kid, a lot of little things just kind of help me with my instincts, my IQ for the game, and pretty much just going out there and doing what nobody else wants to do. I know that a lot of times, diving on the floor or hustling or playing super hard is like a talent, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that I take pride in going out there and doing the little stuff and not having fear and just going out and playing. Because once these guys see that I'm doing it, I mean, they're going to do it as well. They're going to follow as well.
You see a lot of jumps in NBA careers made from rookie year to sophomore year. Josh had a really good I call him a freshman, really good rookie year. You being on the receiving end on some of those passes, just talk about what you expect to see from him going from that rookie trying to figure out the NBA to now being a point guard in this league.
Man, I think the sky's the limit, like I said, especially for Josh. The thing about Josh is he's not scared to make those plays. He's not scared to make those passes. So I think that the more years that he gets to be able to show that, I mean, it only can help him out. You know what I mean? And he's expanded his game. He's worked on his game this summer. You can tell by just us playing pickup, just him being comfortable out there in all aspects of the game, shooting, defending. He's already a great passer. So, man, like I said, the sky's the limit, and I'm looking forward to his growth.
Kenrich, good luck this season. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. That's Kenrich Williams. Sports Animals coverage of Media Days continues. All right, back with continuing coverage of Oklahoma City Thunder Media Days. Gideon Hamilton, Bobby Thompson. We're joined by Josh Giddey. Josh, great to see you, man. How was your summer?
Summer was great. It was a great summer. I got to go back home for a little bit. Spent a bit of time in OKC, in LA, Toronto. So I was all over the shop a little bit, but a lot of good work was done. So I'm excited to be back here into training camp tomorrow.
Talk about the summer, as far as summer league, and just being able to kind of run the national media gamut like you were able to do, the ESPN shows, and just everybody who fell in love with your game, which we got to see all of last season until you got hurt. But then now you're a national name. Just talk about what that was like, getting to visit with some of those guys.
Yeah, it was big for me. Obviously, playing summer league was an opportunity for me to work on things I needed to. And a lot of guys, shy away from summer league. They just want to work in their games. But for me, I wanted to play. I wanted to be out there with my teammates, getting that chemistry better, working on things I needed to. And I think it was really important for me, valuable, take away things I needed to get better at. I got better at. So it was a good experience for me playing summer league again. I guess overall the summer was good. I think for the things you said, getting to get a bit more attention was obviously, it was always good. But for the most part, I enjoyed the summer. Summer league was great, and it was a good opportunity for me to get to know the new guys, get familiar with them, and hit the ground running, heading into training camp and then the season.
There are guys that can play with flair on occasion. There are guys that do have a lot of flair to their game, and then there's you. Okay. And I mean, this is a serious question in some way. I wonder if do you have that dialogue with the coaching staff where they can talk to you about some of those instances without compromising what it is that makes you such an effective player and uses that?
Yeah. That was one of the things when I first met Mark. He asked me, he said, "How do you like to be coached?" And I said, the player I am, it kind of requires for me to be at my best, a little bit of freedom to kind of explore different things. And he said, "I got you." And that gave me confidence all year. And if I threw a turnover, I wasn't looking over my shoulder to get dragged out the game or to get, cussed out or anything. He had confidence in me, and he trusted me with the ball in my hands to make plays. And, a lot of the passes and the things I do come from, him. It stems out of the confidence that he gives me and my teammates give me to trust me to do different things out there on the floor. And obviously, as a rookie, there's going to be a lot of learning experiences, and there was for me, and I'll carry them with me into year two. But yeah, that confidence comes from within the group that they trust me to do things with the ball, and it makes my job and my life a whole lot easier.
A lot of times during preseason, you'll play some games, you won't play some games, and preseason's preseason. You just kind of try to get used to everybody. But there's one game in particular I want to ask you about, and that's getting to play against your hometown guys. How special is that going to be, being an NBA player playing against those guys?
Yeah, very special. Obviously, I've known about this for a little while now, and I'm really excited to get on the floor against them. The team that essentially helped me make that jump from the NBL to the NBA, and the team's obviously changed a lot since I was there. It's complete different ownership and front office, coaches, players. But for the most part, just the organization as a whole, I owe them a lot. They did a great job of getting me to where I'm at. So really excited to play against them. And when I was back in Australia a few years ago, I used to love watching these NBL, NBA games. So now to be involved in one of them is special, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's talk about the business of the team, because you got a couple of key pieces over the course of the summer that are going to be long-term pieces of Oklahoma City. It feels like there's a really good foundation being built here.
There is. There definitely is. It's a young team. It's a rebuilding team. It's a hungry team, and I think there's a lot of excitement around the organization to where we're headed. And these things take time, and you can't go from where we are to winning the championship in 1 year.
Sure.
These things take time to build up, continue to grow those chemistry. And, you look at, for example, the Warriors, they've been together for a number of years now, and they're the staple in the league to where, calls want to get to. And we're building something special here, and I'm really excited for the future and the direction that we're headed in.
Josh, good luck this year. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. That's Josh Giddey. We'll continue our coverage here from Thunder Media Days in just a moment. All right. The Sports Animals coverage of Thunder Media Days continues. Gideon Hamilton, Bobby Thompson, and we're joined by Jalen Williams. Jalen, just talk about what had to be a whirlwind for you. Draft day, summer league, everything that has transpired over the last few months. Has to be a really exciting time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been crazy, especially right after the draft. It was like no sleep, playing in press conference and then summer league. So now is like the time where I feel like it's kind of fizzled out and we're just hooping. So, but it's been fun. I've loved my experience here so far.
We watch the summer league, but also just tell the Thunder fans kind of what's your game like. What can they expect to see with you on the court?
I feel like just kind of like a Swiss Army knife, kind of whatever is needed. I think I bring a lot of versatility to the team, being able to kind of be positionless and just kind of doing whatever it takes to win.
Can you talk about being a player that surveys the court without the basketball? Because that's one of the things that really stood out to a lot of fans when they watched you in summer league, is being able to, take a viewpoint of what's going on in the court and be able to slip behind a defense or just kind of moving without the basketball. I think a lot of fans responded positively to that part of your game.
I think just kind of understanding who's on our team. You have guys like Gid and Shea. I think just in general, our team is really unselfish. So just trying to figure out different ways to kind of be ready whenever somebody's ready to pass the ball, or, I think a lot of times, defenses get caught kind of ball watching. So just kind of playing off of those guys like that. And like I said, especially Giddy, being able to play with him in the summer league, he's a super good passer. So it's really fun to kind of just play off him.
I was going to say, how excited are you? You got to play with Giddy in the summer league, but now you add Shea, you add Dort. Even though with Chet's injury, you're not going to necessarily have him yet. But how excited are you to get on an NBA court, whether it's preseason or not, and play with those established guys?
I'm super excited. I mean, it's been fun to kind of play 5-on-5 with them, and obviously we start training camp tomorrow too. But I'm just really excited to kind of be around all the guys. Like I said, everybody brings something completely different to the table, so it's really fun to kind of get different perspectives of the game from everybody.
What do you think about Oklahoma? About your time here?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm from Arizona, so kind of the Midwest kind of thing is prominent there, but it's really fun. I feel like it has the same vibe. It was hot when I first got here, so I was used to that. But I think that people are super cool. I haven't ran into one bad person yet. Knock on wood, but it's been really fun out here.
Jalen, great to meet you. Best of luck this season. Appreciate you stopping by.
Appreciate you guys having me.
All right, that's Jalen Williams. Our coverage will continue from Thunder Media Days here on the Sports Animal.